How's it going, everyone? Mitch here with your June market update for Peterborough, Ontario. I'm going to start this video by saying that this is going to be the first month that we will have a video airing on Matt McKeever's channel that's a deep dive on the Peterborough market. The update I'm going to give here is going to be a little bit more abbreviated than usual because the video that we shot for Matt's ended up being a monster 45-minute video. So that one is going to be a big hunk of content for anyone that wants to get a little bit more of the full perspective on everything leading up to June and then including June. And for the regular viewers here, I'm going to try and give just a bit more of a brief update and the trends that are developing. And before we get into those stats, I just wanted to say that I am going to get back into producing a video a week. That's my goal. And if you guys are interested in seeing any particular topics, please let me know. I'm doing this for everyone that's watching and that's expressed an interest in these videos. So outside of market updates, when it comes to Peterborough and real estate, housing or housing market, if there's any particular subjects within that you guys want to hear about, let me know. So comment if you have anything specific whatsoever. Feel free to speak your mind and let's get the conversation going, and let me know if I can help dig a little bit deeper into some topics that you're not quite finding all the information that you want. So next, guys, I'm going to try this here. So I'm going to go ahead and populate the statistics here, the tabular format up on this side of the screen. And we're going to start real quick by going over something that we showed on the update on Matt's channel, which is the showing activity, because our inventory is still extremely low right now, but our showing activity has been waning. We've covered this in past videos. It's the middle of summer, things are reopening. People are trying to get their camping trips, etc., in while they still can. Our inventory has not increased, but our sales and our prices haven't rose as rapidly as one might have anticipated given the low inventory, because the buyer demand has fallen off in kind. It's not expected that this is going to continue, and we'll see what the fall brings, but showing activity has definitely been down. And on to the stats here. I want to show you guys, we're going to highlight that prices did peak in March of this year prior to this month. We saw that lull in April where things slowed down, and then we came back and we're back at our record price for the city, record average sale price for the city in June at 636. And if you look at the days of inventory, so we are consistently now still talking about days of inventory, not months of inventory. You guys know that that statistic is the most critical one when it comes to sort of anticipating what's going to happen with prices. And we're at 18 days of inventory, which is basically as low as we've been all year. We're still down there. It's not really budging above that marker. And what that means is that as soon as any buyer demand comes back that's anything relatively similar to like it was in the start of the year, if we see that come back, prices are set to rise extremely rapidly. Now, we could see inventory continue to tick up over the months if the buyer demand doesn't come back and new listings continue to outpace those sales. But as it sits right now, we think it's just a summer pause. There's not really a big flood of listings coming on to overcome the lack of demand, and things are sort of trending generally flat on prices, but they are slightly creeping up and they're set to go up rapidly if we do see a strong fall market with buyers. So that's basically it, guys, for this month's update. I just want to let you know we are back at a record price. Inventory is low, and outside of the stats of what's going on there, I'm always trying to dive into what's actually causing the numbers to appear the way they do. What are the underlying factors that are driving our housing market and what's going on within it. And on that note, I want to talk about some videos that are coming up because I am planning on getting back to that one video a week commitment. And really what I want to dive into a bit myself is how our politics is affecting our housing situation, because we do seem to have a pending federal election here. So I'm hoping to have some guests on in the coming weeks that are going to be able to give us some insights into their thoughts on what's going to happen depending on which way a federal election could go, and how each of the prominent parties is positioning themselves in sort of their take on what they're going to do to alleviate the housing crisis that we're in. We know that it's fundamentally going to come down to one of a handful of options, where we have to up the amount of homes being built by the free market, or there's got to be government supplied housing. And there's going to be an interesting interplay between that and our immigration rates. So there's all kinds of things that are going to be coming down the pipes with a potential election. So I really want to follow those stories. And I want to cover some more topics just to do with affordability in our city. I'm going to do a little bit of a coverage on rents in the city right now. There's a massive problem going on with rental availability and rental prices for those that can't afford to buy, that have been knocked outside of this market in the last year or two. And there is of course a big uproar going on with the amount of people moving in, the amount of new GTA residents moving in, and having the ability via the N12 form to evict local tenants. And then when those tenants have to relocate, even if they were only in a rental situation for 2 to 3 years, the rents are now drastically higher, and there's a really big struggle going on with affordability of housing in the rental market as well. So across the city, we're seeing in Ontario, we're seeing a lot of uproar. There's all kinds of Twitter conversations and whatnot going on about the protesting the housing affordability. And I'm going to do a bit to try and cover some of those stories as well, and what's going on in our local community in regards to that. So that's it. If you guys have any questions whatsoever about this month's stats, I know this was brief, but keep an eye out for the video that I'm going to link to when it comes out on Matt's channel, much more in depth with the trends. And I'm more than open to discussing any specific questions you might have on anything that I didn't cover this month, and just looking forward to keeping the discourse going and talking to you guys weekly here going forward. So hope everyone has a great week, and we'll talk to you guys soon.